And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote. Today's quote is, "There are only 4 great arts: music, painting, sculpture, and ornamental pastry. Architecture being perhaps the least banal derivative of the latter." And that is from Julia Child. With us today in the studio, we have a very special guest, someone who specializes in pastry and can do a great many different and different kinds for that matter. His name is Dennis Stanley with Chantel's Cake and Pastry. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Basil. How you doing today, sir?
Good, how are you?
Nice seeing you again.
Took a while. We finally got you on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you again, too.
It took a little crowbar to get you back out of that store, right?
You had to get a new crowbar.
Okay, well, tell us what makes you different from any other baker.
One of the things that make us different from a lot of the bakers you have here in this region or even in the United States, for an example, Chantel's cater to clients with food allergies. That's one of our niches that we work around. We can work with clients that have like no egg, no dairy, no soy, no flour, no sugar, no food coloring, no gluten, and also we work with clients that have no, we can also do a cake with no diabetics, and some of our cakes that we may have more than one allergy in the same cake. So we first listen to a client when they tell us they have a food allergy, and then we just stamp the paper so we know what recipe we can use for that particular client.
Got you. Now, you may not want to tell us, but how do you do that?
How do
you don't have to tell us. You don't have to answer the question.
If I tell you that
you have to kill me.
We have a funeral tomorrow.
Well, that's good because I rarely hear about such a thing. Right. And then with the allergy mushrooming, literally, in this day and age, it's definitely, that's fantastic that I have a place they can go.
Yes. First of all, we also do cakes that have regular full load stuff in it too. We can do it with eggs and butter and flour and all that stuff in it too. But some things I find out now when I go to a lot of network meetings, the first thing I ask the people in the audience is, how many people do you know that have a food allergy? And as of now, at least 95% of the people hands will go up. Because a lot of the people you have now have food allergies, and some of them have it all their life and they never knew what they was getting sick from. So as the doctors get more and more experience on technology, they found out someone may have a gluten allergy and they might have been treating from indigestion. Or they could have an egg allergy and get hives or the throat swell up, and it could be coming from the eggs.
Gotcha. Wow. Interesting. My goodness. Well, the 1% who didn't raise their hand, they didn't just hear the question then.
Again?
The 1% did not raise their hand, maybe
they could have known when they had a food allergy. And something else that makes Chantel's a little different from a lot of our competitors is that every cake that we make in the shop is made per customer. You won't be able to walk in our shop and see where you see a lot of showcases where everything is made and you pick from the case. What happens is a lot of our clients, they call us up, just like going to a restaurant. You get a menu, and they look at the menu and they tell us what flavor cake, what icing, what stock, even tell us what color you want. So a lot of our clients may use our cakes for centerpieces. So that keeps you from having to spend extra money. Just use the cake as a centerpiece and be able to eat it.
Very good. So now what are the different arena that you serve, like wedding, individual? Who do you serve, 1, 2 person, 3, 4, 6, 5?
Well, every part of the year brings different types of business. So you may have a section where there's a lot of wedding cakes going on. Then you may have a section where a lot of birthdays or even the holiday season coming up. And you find out most time in this area, people start shopping at least 3 to 4 months ahead of schedule when they want a particular cake, especially when it comes to the wedding cakes. So they may start shopping 3 to 6 months out for a wedding cake, and that way they find out where it's going to be and the flavors, and they come in and do a tasting, and then you get the design of the cake. So that's what's making special about the wedding cakes. And the same thing with the birthday cakes. So a lot of times when a child comes in or a mother comes in, especially if they have a food allergy or don't have a food allergy, they get to come in and bring in to us and sit down, and we get to design their cake like an architecture do.
Interesting. You did a cake for us, was 100, was celebrating 100.
For your 100th anniversary, we did your cake.
I didn't know they ate the whole thing. I did not see anything at all.
And I'm still getting calls from that cake today.
People are calling it
matter of fact, the place where you had your 100th anniversary, they signed a contract with me. We do cakes for them every month.
Oh, really?
Yes, so I do thank you for that.
Well, I don't remember getting the commission, though.
Your commission?
Do you have some back commission?
That check was put in the mail. Apparently your address have changed. That's why I keep getting it back.
Yeah, I definitely had your cake. I loved it very much so. I mean, I can attest to that. Your cakes are different.
Yes.
They don't have that heavy feeling. You know, I'm highly sensible. Most of I think most people are. When I put something on my tongue, I can tell immediately.
Thank you. And I notice every time I do a trade show, you're the first one in line.
But the 100 cake, I did not even see it. Though even the guy working for you put something aside for me, but they found it and ate it. It was absolutely delicious.
Thank you. And what we do at Chantel's is, like you mentioned, some of the cakes are light on the tongue. So when a lot of clients come in, instead of getting a buttercream on the cake all the time, you may get a whipped cream. Or some clients like buttercream, some like whipped cream, some like the heavy, some like the cakes that's not so heavy. And then we can cater to the angel food, to the strawberry, the chocolate, whatever flavor you want. So it's not necessarily you always have to get a heavy cake. So you can get a chocolate cake and put a chocolate whipped cream on it and get the same quality as a gourmet cake where it may have a heavy chocolate buttercream on it. And then you can also take, instead of getting a regular yellow cake or a chocolate cake, you can get a gourmet cake, do something like yellow, chocolate, lemon, raspberry, marble, spice, or strawberry. And you can mix all those up. Okay. And something else that also makes Chantel's a little different from a lot of my competitors, we also deliver. We can deliver cakes anywhere in the metropolitan area. So a lot of the clients may be busy, or if you got an admin that don't have a few hours for lunch and they got to pull the cake together, all the party supplies together, they can just call us up. We can deliver the cake to them. At the same time, we have a gift shop. So if a client's calling in with a baby shower cake, they can also come in, or we can deliver the baby shower cake. We can deliver the baby shower gift that goes with it. If they got to have the balloons for it, we can have the balloons to coordinate. If they got to get the paper supplies, they can come in the shop, they can walk out with a cake, the paper supplies, a gift to go with the cake, the balloons, the card, the whole 9 yards. And if an admin is only having an hour out for lunch, and they got to go 5 places to pick up a cake and get all the supplies, they wasted their whole hour lunch break. Where they can come to us, call us up, place the cake order, and we can do in and out in 5 minutes. Or if we deliver the cake for them, all they got to do is open the door, we come in, serve everything on the table, we call it party in a box. So everything you need for that party is in a box. All you got to do is open the door and we walk in and set it up for you. And then we also ship cakes anywhere in the United States, especially with the allergy cakes. We have a lot of clients that have food allergies. They're anywhere in the United States, they call us up and we can ship a cake. As long as we can get the order in and get it out at FedEx before 10 o'clock at night, we can have the cake in the mail that 10 o'clock at night at the airport, and they will have it the next morning if it's in a residential area. If it's in a rural area, we may not be able to guarantee a time, but we can still get them a cake overnight.
Okay, let me ask you this, but the cake overnight, does it any breaks?
No, we don't send sheet cakes or big cakes. Most of the cakes we send would be like a 6, 8, or 10-inch round. And then no, the cakes goes out frozen. We freeze the cake that morning or the day before, and we wrap it, seal the cake up, and we put it in a styrofoam cooler, and then the cake goes in the container with the package around it. It goes, and then we wrap it in the styrofoam cooler. We tape that up airtight, and depends on how far it has to go, we put an ice pack in it. And if they're in a residential area, the cake leave my shop at 10 o'clock at night, and they would have it between 9 and 10 o'clock the next morning. By the time they get the cake, it's just starting to thaw out. And there's an old myth that some frozen cakes are not as good the next day after they're frozen. That's one of the oldest myths you can get. A lot of times if you freeze the cakes, they stay fresher, so as long as the cake is being shipped frozen, it'll be fine.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
So we're going to ship a couple of cakes for you.
Hey, I'm ready to receive.
Okay.
I'm ready to receive.
No, we need to ship some for you so you can see my testimony that they're going to come out good.
Well, I'm right here in Fairfax, so that would be fine.
No, we can since you're here in Fairfax, we can hand deliver your cake for you.
Okay.
But if you got somebody, you know anybody in California?
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So let's ship them a cake. And then they can call you up and tell you if it came out good.
We still take care of the bill. Let's figure that out. Who's going to take care of the bill first?
Who's going to take care of the bill?
Yeah.
I'm sure we work that out. That check that keep coming back and forth, we get to take care of the bill. And then something else that we do, we work with a lot of bakeries that even could be around the United States. So there's a couple of companies, you know how you wire flowers? Where you can go to any bakery, any florist, and you can walk in and you can go in that bakery and wire flowers to somewhere in another state. So if you're in California and you want to send your loved one some flowers and you're in Virginia, then what would happen is a bakery in one of those locations would take the order, write down everything that needs to be on that cake order, then they will call a bakery, which is, we one of the bakeries here in Northern Virginia, in the metropolitan area. They can call me up, give me the order, and if you got a loved one here in Virginia, they can take the order in California, and they can email or fax order to me here, and we hand deliver the cake where it needs to go.
Oh, okay.
So that way you can wire cakes just like you wire flowers.
Wow.
Another thing that we also involved with another company that's out in California, we can put a cake in a war zone. If you know someone's fighting a war and their birthday or whatever came up, we can contact them and you find out where they're at, and we can put a birthday cake, whatever the occasion is, a cake in the war zone, so they don't feel like they're left out.
Oh,
Yes.
that's remarkable.
So there's a lot of things that Chantel's can do that's a little bit different than other bakeries.
Wow, that's exciting. Are we going to have a cake on May 17th? Are you going to do a cake for us? No.
May 17th for your, this is your
The
101?
next expo.
The 101 is going to be at the same location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
And
going to have
then
a...
also, a lot
Well, you
of,
have to, being that you use them too, then it's getting orders. And even though I don't, even though my commission to check in the mail, but I think you should do that.
well, look at it this way. Until you get the check, it's getting interest.
I'm not going to figure out the interest, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now, what other avenue? How do you grow your business? I'm just trying to get. I would like for you to give some tips of recommendation. How
What
you
I
do-
found out that helped me to grow my business, you don't just look at one avenue. Don't just look at email marketing, or don't just look at just sending out mail marketing. What I found out to help me grow my business is being in person. When I go out, I love networking. We learn how to network, and we go to events like yours.
Good.
And then I just look at the events in the area, and then I personally go to events. And something that gets me into a lot of doors is I bring a cake along with me.
Yeah, that's nice.
I take a cake along with me and say,
Very
I
nice.
call them up and we got an event going on. Mind if I come? I either bring a cake. And at the same time,
Who can say no to that? Unless they're a caterer.
Right.
They say,
And then-
no, sir. I'll take it
then
over. I'll take it over.
we also take gift certificates. So you find
Really?
out you can take a gift certificate. And if you're at a networking event, something I found out, if you're at a networking event, and if you had to pay to get into it, and you round talking to everyone that's in the networking event, if there's 100 people there, there's no way you're going to hit 100 people within the time allotted for the event.
That's for sure.
So a good thing to do is take a gift certificate, or take a prize, or a door prize. And when they call that door prize out, every 100 person in that audience, your name get brought to them. So that's one of the ways I found out about networking. The more you give, the more that's going to come back to you.
Interesting.
So at your events now, you're going to let me in the door so I can bring a cake.
Yeah, well, we already have a table. Yeah, bring a cake. I just think that, well, you are in a business which you call show and tell, or taste it, and then, because you can tell somebody about all the greatness of the different tastes and what have you, it doesn't register. But when they taste the cake, that's another story.
Yeah, some cakes are beautiful, some good inside, some sit outside and they don't be as good. What I found out with a lot of clients, that a lot of my clients now will watch the cooking shows on TV. And they will see a lot of the, excuse me, a lot of shows on TV, and they have a lot of fondant on it. Then they may come in the next day and want some of those cakes. Some of those cakes that you see on TV takes 2 or 3 days or a week to build. And a lot of those cakes are covered in fondant and Rice Krispies. So when they look at those TV shows and watch those cakes, you have to keep in mind that some of the parts that you look at is not real. Matter of fact, a lady called me today and she wanted me to do a drum cake. We had the round drum on the bottom, and then we had the drum on the top, so one is sitting on the other. I had to let her know that the drum on the bottom is a real cake, where the cake she's looking on top is styrofoam. So what they do is they take the styrofoam and they take the fondant and cover the styrofoam, so you don't know that that's a dummy cake until you take it off and then you cut the real cake. And a lot of the fondant cakes that a lot of clients by now want, some bakers will upscale their cakes, putting fondant on it. And one of the things about fondant is once you put fondant on a cake, 99% of the time that cake needs to sit out until the client gets it. So if a cake requires someone to start working on it on a Monday because so much detail on it with fondant, by Saturday, if that cake is for Saturday, for example, that cake is going to dry out. So that's why you see a lot of cakes that have fondant on it, it's kind of dry inside. So what we do at Chantel is we try to tell a lot of the clients, if the cake needs fondant,
What is fondant?
Fondant is that hard icing you see that they roll out like pie dough.
Oh, okay.
And once you ice a cake, you take and lay it over the cake. That is fondant. And you can take and color it any way you want. It's beautiful. It gives a perfect presentation. But if you can do a buttercream cake that don't require fondant, then that's the best way to go. And then maybe just use fondant decorations on it.
Okay.
And one, it'll cut your cost down. Because if you put a fondant on a cake, let's say the regular cake is $100. And you can do all the decorations in buttercream. And if you put fondant on the cake, you probably that cake now will come out to be about maybe $200-300.
Wow.
Just because you're paying someone for the fondant and you're paying for the extra labor to go into it. So you're paying for fondant, you're paying for labor. So we can try to help a client save some money. And if you help someone save some money, as hard as they work for it, they're gonna come back and see you again.
Oh, definitely. Wow, that's very, very interesting.
So how's your organization coming to help people network as well?
Well, we host, and I'm glad you asked. Generally, I'm the one who asked questions. Congratulations, Dennis.
So the interview is more about me, it's about you as well. So I want to make sure I know what you're doing.
You insist, I'll answer the question.
Okay.
Well, we host monthly event, folks, in Fairfax. The second or third Thursday of the month, we have a breakfast event. So the next one is on April 11. I don't know that this will be on when you'll have the time to attend. We're doing extremely well. We have about 30 people attending. In February, in fact, we have 38 people.
That's good.
Yes.
That's how I first met you.
Yes.
That's how I met you networking.
Yes.
And how long we been knowing each other now? About
Lord knows, 6-7 years.
6-7 years.
Yes.
So as you can see, our networking is still going. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I go to a networking event, you there.
Oh, really?
Or either you there, I'm there, or we're in passing.
Oh. Well, okay. Well,
See, I've been watching you. You got to keep your eyes on people.
Track them. And also, folks, I want to tell you about the expo we hear mentioning coming up on May 17. In fact, we're going to run a clip on that show over here for a few minutes. Welcome back. So yes, we have on May 17th having the show.
Okay.
We're gonna have, you came last time. We're going to have 100 exhibitors. We're expecting 400 to 500 business people there.
Wow. How many do you have at the last event?
Between 350 and 400.
350 to 400?
Yes. We're starting early. We're using different ways really to promote the event. Texting and more of personal contact and LinkedIn, which we're using now much more heavily to get many more people there. But it went very well, very well. I mean, so we're doing that again. And also we're increasing the number of seminars. I don't think I ever mentioned that. We find some people, being that our seminars are free, people come to the seminar and then do visit the exhibitor, the network as well. So we double the number of seminars this time around, so people have more choice,
right? And
then they can come and get the information that'll help them grow their business.
So how would the people in the seminar, or people that pay to go to your event, how would they benefit from it other than just paying a booth and people coming around to it? So for example, the reason why I'm asking the question is, me as a bakery, I come there and I set up my table, and if you got 500 people coming through that event, how would your expo benefit me if all 100 people, 500 people can't get to my table?
They will. They don't come at all time. Because sometimes when we say 500 people, some people, or even an exhibitor can say, well, I didn't see it. Well, the 500 do not come at all time. The expo is going from 7:30 to 3 o'clock. People say, well, I'm coming from 9 to 10, or I'm from 2 to 3, or from 1 to... So they don't come all at the same time. That's why this is a great thing. And then they trickle in, and then anywhere, and they roam around, and you have that secret. But all the 500 do not come at once. If they did, you will feel it. There won't be room for anybody. Okay. But they come and rotate. That's a very good question, because the other thing we do is we always have a major door prize. It can be a big painting, can be an airfare ticket, or what have you. For them to win that, they have to visit at least 20 exhibitors. When they come in, when they sign up, we give them the chart with all the exhibitors. Now, this is what happened. When they are given the chart and they're told you need to visit 20 to qualify for the door prize, they go aside and start marking who they're going to see exactly. You get what I'm saying? They don't just do sign, because it's silly. Now they start looking and say, oh, this guy's a baker, well, I need to go and see a baker. So the guy coming to you now is has some interest. That's what the last expo we have somebody telling me they got 17 leads. I know the woman got 12 customers out of that because the people coming to them have some interest, which is a good thing because it gives you a selection too. The guy who's not interested in the cake won't necessarily come see you.
Right.
He can pass by, but he's not like, I got to go and see this baker guy. But the one who has something in mind, birthday, shower, whatever is coming to see you, and is more likely tune into business.
So that's pretty good because I'm there, and one thing I found out also in my networking, when I go out to do cakes, I try to carry a variety of everything that we carry, especially as my literature. So when I go out, instead of working, I found out some clients, for example, may not like cake. So then we'll bring a cake. And then we also cater to clients that have, let's say if it's the cake. If you don't like cake, then we may have pies. Some don't like pies, some like cake, we may do cookies. And then we also do quiche and we do cobblers. So when on our menu, if you take a look at it, one of the things that we just did now is we created a gluten-free web page. Because we're finding out now more and more people have the gluten allergy. So what we do is we try to market now, especially like an event like yours, we let everybody know that we now have the gluten-free page. So they can go there and look at gluten-free, and that's starting to be more and more and more. And you're finding out now, even though we cater to clients that have food allergies, for example, a lot of clients are staying away from things like gluten because they feel better. You find out a lot of clients will get away from eggs or some of the other things that we call them allergies. But you find out depends on where you're from, or certain things, or certain health restrictions that you stay away from things, not saying you're allergic to it. You may just stay away from it because you feel better.
Gotcha.
And I have some clients that say they have the gluten allergy. When they start taking gluten, I don't have a gluten allergy, their life just came up one morning, flipped the light switch on, like every day is a sunshine day.
Well, the other thing I can do, you can put a cake there and put a sign, it's a gluten-free, to get their attention, being that is a big item now. And that way when they come in, boom, they see it right then and there. You don't need to talk to them even.
So would it be benefiting me as to go into your event, when you do your marketing, you may already say, do you take some of your vendors and say certain vendors there is catering to, or do you spotlight the vendors ahead of schedule?
So I didn't get that.
Do you spotlight some of the vendors ahead of schedule? So when you send your email marketing out, would you spotlight a vendor?
What we do generally is a sponsor gets spotlighted. On the website, the logo is there on top and what have you. But one of the things we're doing also, I'm glad you asked that question, is we're having a seminar for all vendors on April the 4th at that same location, which I think will be to give them the information, but also give them the opportunity to get to know one another as well. So when they're coming in the day off, they know who is where, they can refer to one another and what have you. So I think that helped the show tremendously, and it helped them. They know who is on. It's like anything, when you walk in there, you don't know anybody, you got to get to know them before something happens.
Right.
But here they met already, they network and what have you, they know who is on another. I think that will improve the revenue, the show for
By having the vendors meeting ahead of schedule?
Yes, and we have that meeting because there is a know-how to exhibit. There are things you want to do before, you need to do before, during, and after. But they may not necessarily know that. But even if they knew those things, it will be a good thing for them to hear them again. Repetition is a key thing in learning. So that's what we put in that show there. Because somebody can come and give us the money and then buy a table. But they don't know what to do exactly.
Right.
And at the end of the show, they say, well, it didn't work. Well, they did not apply the know-how to be successful.
Right.
So we're taking that responsibility now to bring them in and teach them what they need to do so that they can be successful.
That's where a good stake line for me is for my business. If I'm there, if I don't market that I have the allergy stuff, an example, then they may come in and 5 people could have walked by that could have had a dairy allergy. So as a business, in my networking, it's important to me to market my people with allergies and my regular clients and put out an information on my table and keep iterating that we cater to clients with these allergies. We cater to this, we cater to that. And then you may find out that some of them, like I said earlier, a client may say, but I have a dairy allergy, I may have an egg allergy. And one thing I also found out here in Northern Virginia, or as far as I can reach now, a lot of the daycares won't let cupcakes or cakes come in because of food allergy or the nut allergy. 90% of the schools in the area now, if a parent or someone go to any grocery store or wherever, if that place cannot guarantee them that they have that cupcake or cake is nut-free, they can't get it to the front door. One of the horror stories I heard over Halloween, for example, is parents stay up all night long and bake cupcakes with their kids. And the kids are on the other side of that door, I went to school, and parents is coming in to go through that door to take the cupcakes in, but The school principal stopped them at the front door and said, well, these cupcakes can't come in the school, because you can't guarantee that the child in the school has a nut allergy. So that way you got to take those cupcakes and you got to get rid of them. So then they got to go find a bakery or whoever can guarantee that there's a nut allergy, but they're not going to hardly do it within that that period. So that's why we build a relationship with most of the daycares or even the schools in the area, that once the cake leave our shop, we'll stamp the box and tell them what the cake has in it and why it's not in the cake. And we will find out that if a cupcake goes to a school for the first time, before that cake gets in the door and a parent or a child eats it, then the school will call us up to make sure that cake came from my location. So we can guarantee that that student on the other side of that door can grab a cupcake and a cake and it's nut free.
Well, I think for the sake of the expo, you can put a board. Just say, make cake free of
whatever food allergies.
Yes, a big fat board. Like really list them off. And that way you get their attention. We make, I would say, make regular cake and cake to address the following allergen. Just list them up big. That's how you get their attention, I think.
That'd be a good idea. We should do that next time we do.
Yes, big board. Put it, can go to Kinko's, make a big board, sitting there, have your cake, and then put that big sign there. Sitting there, and then they, because that's really because a lot of business today gets. I was in a seminar last time. I said, Apple, is a highly successful company. Do you know that they have a niche?
Yes.
7%. That's all they're going after. So the moral of the story is have yourself a niche. Anything else come extra, but you have a niche that you aggressively. This they come to you. You don't even ask them.
Right. So if you market your niche right,
yes,
then the clients will come to you.
Yes.
You build, they will come.
You got that right. that really summed it up, totally and completely better than I could ever sum it up. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're looking forward to seeing you next time. That was Dennis. Get your cake from him. Have a good nice evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Okay.